Okay guys, so let's talk about how we can accurately track our alcohol. So a couple things is, let's say I'm gonna have some huckleberry vodka. Now I'm probably gonna mix this with something, right? So it's important that we take whatever we're mixing with our alcohol and track that separately. So let's say I'm gonna mix this with some 7-Up. So I'm gonna track the quantity of 7-Up that I have in that cocktail separately in my tracker, and then I will track this. Now, let me explain to you how we're going to break down this and make sure that we're putting it in our tracker accurately. We are not required, the FDA doesn't require us to have alcohol in our nutrition labels. So if you look at like a White Claw and it says it's 100 calories, but there's only 2 grams of carbs in there, well, it's 100 calories because of the alcohol content that's in there. The carb section, that 2 grams, that the alcohol is not accounted for. So we need to make sure that we're pulling from our carbs or our fats when we're having alcohol. So I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? Alcohol is actually the 4th macronutrient, but it's not nutritionally valuable to us, so it's not something that we are going to have in our macro calculators or breakdowns. Also not recommended to have every day. So, you know, we're benefiting from our protein, fats, and our carbs. So, alcohol is 7 calories per gram. So I did a little bit of research and I found that, I'm going to break this down here for you, okay? So I did a little bit of research and I found that huckleberry vodka, if I was to have 1.5 ounces of this, it would be about 85.5 calories. Okay, so now we know what our calories is from our alcohol. And if we divide that by 7, we know we have 12.2 grams of that alcohol breakdown. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with it. Well, we're going to have to put it in either our carbs or our fats. So we're going to take the calories that we have from our vodka, 85.5, and we'll divide it by 4 for carbs. So 21.3 grams of carbs is how much we would have to make sure that we're pulling out of our carbohydrate grams for the day to account for the fact that we're having a drink. If we wanted to do it with fats, then we would divide it by 9, and then we would get 9.5 grams that we have to pull out of our fat content for the day to make sure that this is accounted for. Now we can split it in half too. So we can take half of 85.5 and divide it by 4, and then take the other half and divide it by 9, and then we can kind of do like a split between the two. But ultimately what this comes down to is that this is something that we are going to track pretty much calorie-wise. Now we need to make sure we're still getting our protein in. This does not come out of protein. It's carbs or fat options. So we need to make sure that we're pulling that amount of grams that would equal that calorie count out of that carbs or fat to make sure that this is accounted for, because we are ultimately drinking our calories. So that's how you do it. That's the easy breakdown. Now, a lot of the trackers do have alcohols already put in them. It's just important that you are tracking accurately, right? We can put it in, but if it's not accurate, it's not going to benefit us in making sure we're hitting our goals. If you have a cocktail on occasion and it's the same thing every time, it's something maybe you make at home, just create a recipe, put it in there, make it custom, and so that it's making sure that it is accurate according to what you're having to drink. Now, this is how to break it down. This is how to do it. This is how to account for it. There's a couple things I want to say about alcohol. We know that it's not beneficial to us. It has no nutritional value. It affects our hormone function. It actually dysregulates testosterone production. It affects our sleep quality. It can affect how long we're able to stay asleep and the quality of that sleep. And then it really slows down our metabolism. This kind of stuff is our body views as a toxin. So when we ingest it, and if it's something that we're ingesting regularly, our body's main priority is going to be to get rid of it. So it can slow down our metabolism. If you're looking at losing weight, you have a weight loss goal, this can actually, be a potential factor in slowing down your weight loss. So nothing wrong with enjoying it on occasion, but depending on what your goals are and what you're wanting to achieve, this might be something that you want to look at backing off of.